Okay, my name is Sander Lorik. I am from the University of Twente in the Netherlands.
Well, and this is me, Frank Tietze. I'm from here locally, from Hamburg University of Technology.
And I'm Nicholas. I'm currently a PhD student at the University of Cambridge. So I think we just want to provide you with the outcomes of our committee meeting that we had today, the EITIM network.
And we might want to add that we were actually four of us. Tim, who's as well from Hamburg, he has just had to leave us for another meeting.
Right. So as you can see, we were pretty busy.
Yeah.
If we step away, well, whiteboards are always good. Sticky notes are always great to have. As you can see, we have more of these here. However, we won't show you all these details. We're going to have a very neat presentation for you, presenting the outcomes and encourage you for more interesting discussion about what the outcomes were.
Yeah.
And Sandra will actually now present what we were talking about.
Yes, I will. Okay, so as you can see, we just did a lot of thinking, and we came up with 5 specific points that we think are really important for the future of EITIM. So first of all, we would like to talk about structural funding. So how can we get a continuous stream of money to support our work? The second thing is that we would like to provide more value for you as an active EITIM member. And the third thing is that we want to have a clear organizational structure, so that it is really clear for you as an EITIM member if you have specific questions where to go to. The fourth point is also very important, and maybe it actually should be the first one. That is how to make your contribution to our EITIM network more interesting. And specifically, that is necessary for the work that you can do as a committee member within EITIM. And the last one is that we, as an EITIM foundation, we offer you specific benefits to be part of this network. So in the next few slides, we will explain these 5 topics more in depth about what we think we should do to make this EITIM community more sustainable.
Another thing we discussed during this meeting was how to get structural funding for the EITIM network. We figured that it would be good if we had a core group from the EITIM institution with PhD students and another extended group from other institutions. And maybe we could make these people pay for the membership at the EITIM institutes. Another thing to collect money was maybe talk to alumni and ask them if they would fund our network. Also, what we could do and what we could offer is that if we give presentations to companies, maybe they want to pay a little fee, or we could talk about the fact that it might be interesting for other institutions and other PhD students to get webinars or presentations from ourselves. During the last 2 days, we discussed furthermore how we could actually better utilize and expand the knowledge base that we have already created during the last 2 years, mainly on our website. We found that it's particularly interesting for every one of us to be informed not about all knowledge that is there, but rather about the knowledge that is changing, like what new conferences take place that have been added to a conference calendar that we might set up, what new PhD theses have been published. Those can be actually uploaded as well to the website, and what new calls for papers have been published, and what changes have taken place in the profiles of the members, like who has moved from one place to the other. So there are different ideas, and we're actually quite convinced that the knowledge we have already collected is really helpful, but we should work on it even more in the future.
Okay, actually a third point that we were discussing here was about the organization of the EITIM network. as we were here within a committee meeting. Obviously, there is somehow a committee. However, there are also other functions in the network. And we would like to reinforce the position of the ambassador, which is the local committee member in each EITIM university, and who's accompanied by a junior PhD student that is also a committee member. And we would like to have a contingency there, in a sense that the junior PhD student is taking over from the more senior PhD student after the senior PhD student, the ambassador, leaves when he submitted his PhD, his or her PhD thesis. So this is like the discussion about the fade in and fade out, so that we have continuous work in the EITIM committee network committee. And we would like to check if there is a possibility to establish a legal entity for EITIM. That is to account for the fact that we would like to raise some money, like for membership fees or for companies. So we would need to open up a bank account, which is only possible if we have a legal entity. So we're discussing these things, and I think this will be also a major issue for future discussions. And as raised before, we would like to accept new EITIM Uni members that can actively contribute to the work.
The first point we were discussing quite extensively is the question, how could we actually make the committee meetings more attractive, or rather the work in the committee. And the idea to change the structure, the design of the committee meetings in a way that we include a module within the 1.5 or 2 days committee meeting, where we actually discuss some research projects of one or the other committee member, because the feedback we got from the Berlin workshop was quite positive, in a way that the peer review or the peer feedback, which was quite honest, was really helpful by those who attended the workshop. And we thought we could capitalize on this and include such a research element within the committee meeting.
Well, and the last point was that we were discussing about activities that we can offer that would support your PhD. I mean, we know the EITIM conferences, we know the workshops. The first we had in Berlin, we want to catch up on that. We want to invite EITIM PhD students to a workshop that go actually on in the other institutes around. So there we need your active contribution, because we want to know actually what is important for your PhD, what can we set up, what kind of activities to support you in submitting your thesis in time with a high quality. So here we would really like to get some feedback from you. What is important to you, what can we do, what can a network provide? So please let us know and email to committee if you have any recommendations, or even better, get involved in the work in the committee. Actually, the next conference is approaching, which is going to be in Twente, and I hope to see you there.
Thank you, Niklas. We hope to see you in Twente from the 28th of January to the 30th of January. Don't forget to register in time for the conference on the EITIM.org website. At the same time, think about whether you have some changes that you want to update at your profile, and submit the poster in time to Niklas.
Great, thank you, Frank.